After the events of the last one, Revenge of the Fallen, where could you go with another story? Well, don't worry about that. In fact, the plot gets really wacky and overtly contrived. In Sam's side story, along with the rest of the humans he interacted with the exception of the military, it's just nonsense.
For today, in the name of freedom, we take the battle to them.
The basic plot is back in the 1960s. During the Great Space Race, Americans have picked up on an alien craft that might have crashed on the dark side of the moon, hence the name. So we sent Apollo 11 out there. And historically, we lost transmission with them for a few minutes. Here, the writers will find a way to add that old conspiracy theory that we didn't lose contact because of the position of the moon, the sun, and the earth, but because we actually discovered aliens. Here, Armstrong and Aldrin find a wrecked Autobot ship that was destroyed on its way out of Cybertron during the war. Believing all is lost, the Autobots never bothered looking for this ship, and the Decepticons always knew it was on the moon, and the humans have taken top secret evidence. When the Autobots learn of this, they find Sentinel Prime, the leader of the Autobots before Optimus, in a vegetative state with his pet project simply known as fuel cells. As we trudge through this lengthy movie, we learn that Sentinel has made arrangements with Megatron during the war to come to Earth and help restore the glory Cybertron once had. And the f***ing kicker is Megatron knew this the whole time. Why is this not explained in the first, second, or f***ing ever? The writers are just making up shit at this point. Sam Witwicky is a loser and a half.
Aliens in the vehicle! Wow! You moved this Wow! Wow! Got aliens in the vehicle!
In fact, he spends the first 2 hours of this movie just complaining that he should have a better life, because he's helped save the world 2 times before. Michaela, Megan Fox's character, was written out of the film due to some controversy with Michael Bay, so they made a new girlfriend for him, Carly Spencer. I have one issue with her character, and that is she would never date a pathetic lowbrow geek like Sam. Otherwise, she's kinda cool and clever. Sam struggles to get a career after college, but ends up working for a company that specializes in military surveillance. This is because Carly's boss, Dylan Gold, made a recommendation to the said company. After all, he inherited it, and my god, he bitches about it too. Both him and Sam suck. Eventually, Sam finds a way to rear his ugliness back into the fight, to reunite with the Autobots in another world-ending event. The Autobots are the same as before. Some new ones pop up every now and then, but never really matters since we almost see nothing and will never have any character growth. Bumblebee is still the same, with no voice, just audio clips to help him communicate his feelings. I did notice something strange, an unexplained slip-up. In the first movie, B used the radio in the car to make his voice. Somehow, the kid has a synth board preloaded with complete phrases.
Come here. Come here. Come on. Sam. What is your deal, huh?
Optimus got some upgrades. He now has an axe and a sword. At one point he had a shield, but once he defeated the guy he was fighting, he dropped it and it never showed up again. He does, however, drive into the final battle with a trailer hitched to him. He is a semi-truck after all. Inside is basically what every kid imagines what real-life jetpacks would look like. And again, after his turmoil with the opponent is ended, Optimus just throws the gear away.
We gotta move! Why do the Decepticons always get the good shit?
Decepticons got a major upgrade since the last outing, with the amazing addition of Shockwave, a Decepticon scientist who's got a monster of a vehicle to bust around in. This gigantic metal worm tears through the earth and metal with the slightest of ease. It's actually terrifying. The only way to stop this massive weapon of destruction required Optimus suiting up in flight gear and flying through the damn thing to rip Shockwave out. We see the lame last attempt of Megatron to try and claim any respect left after his humiliating defeat with Optimus the previous time. Megatron is just chilling out in the wild, waiting for news from Shockwave and the resurrection of Sentinel Prime. His head is busted wide open, with little bots either eating him or trying to repair the damage. Sentinel Prime, who isn't a Decepticon and stands firm on that fact, but nonetheless is still a betrayer of the Autobots and humans. Sentinel claims his reasoning for his actions is that he needed to team up with Megatron and the Decepticons for the future of Cybertron using his fuel cells. So now, when we talk about too many cameo appearances and bizarre casting choices that just come out of left field, many moments within this film, you'll be asking yourself, do I need to see this? Mr. Bay, do I? First up, Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock himself, lends his voice for the character of Sentinel Prime, and Frank Welker voices Shockwave. Frank is famous for voicing Scooby-Doo.
Optimus!
Alan Tudyk, who's just starting out his career at this point, will later go on to become famous. He's usually doing something with DC characters. Plays Agent Simmons' butler, Dutch, who turns out to be a retired professional hitman. Patrick Dempsey plays Dylan Gold, Carly's boss. At one point, Sam feels inferior to this guy because he looks better than him. And he's right. Dempsey won the Sexiest Man of the Year award in 2023. Frances McDormand, an incredibly talented award-winning actress, somehow got stuck in this film as the director of national intelligence. But there are entire sequences that involve these two actors just traumatizing Sam in the workplace. The first one is his neurotic boss, Bruce Brazos, played by John Malkovich. Why is John in a Transformers movie at all? This guy usually likes more art-driven work, not this CGI mess. Anyways, Bruce is hard on everyone under his supervision. They use a scene where if you have the wrong color cup for his floor, the red floor, someone will come by and throw it away regardless. Then we find out who Bruce's boss is, Jerry Deep Wayne. Yes, that's his name. Played by the most annoying man in cinema at the time, Dr. Ken Jeong. Ken plays this character like all of his other characters. Too sexual and utterly insane. There's a point where Wang corners Sam in a bathroom stall to talk privately about the Transformers, but the whole thing comes off like a cheap 2000s joke on homosexuals. It's not a funny scene, and it's not a comfortable one. These two guys alone being in this movie took me out of it so hard, I was getting bored just because it wasn't what I wanted to see. Sam working a lame job with horrible bosses because workplace antics? Next time, just show me robots. I don't care about these people.
Ha! Like it? I'm kidding.
I give Transformers: The Dark of the Moon a nice 3 out of 5. Some of you said I was too harsh with the second film, but I still stand by that. While on the other hand, this one is action-packed and kind of violent, with both sides of the conflict showing potential bloodshed, and humans are being evaporated. When you hit the third act, and it takes some time, shit pops off. The time problem is actually an issue here. This story doesn't need 2 hours and 40 odd minutes, and Sam's side story is a major issue I have with this film. Shia does his worst acting, and you can tell from his over-dramatic antics, and guys, let's be honest with ourselves, he's phoning it in. The dude hated doing this movie. Michael Bay does some wicked cool shots, but his editing is undoubtedly the worst in the industry. His storytelling is bonkers to even think about. And worst of all, he actually seems to be very capable of directing a good scene. I'm starting to realize his strategy is to make caricatures and let them breathe in this world, but they have no anchor to tie them down. Let's look at Agent Simmons, who was in the last 2 films. Okay, yeah, he's a conspiracy guy and outgoing, but after his big moment in Revenge, there was no need to bring this loser back. But he has so much time to Neanderthal his way around each set. There's even a moment where he's torn away from a car by a Decepticon and tossed away like rotten garbage. He should be dead by these events, but no, we need this jerk for the final act. All logic is gone. If this movie were just military guys hanging out with the Autobots fighting foreign threats from other worlds, it would just be an amazing thing to see. But no, we need to add Sam back in because we decided he's the anchor for this story. Leave Sam out of it. Yeah, we started this story with Sam meeting B, and B isn't really in this one. There's a stupid scene where Sam's freaky boss wants to play fight with B, and B's ready to kill the dude as he lies on the ground laughing like it's a tickle fight. What I'm getting at is that humans, nearly all of them, hurt the narrative, waste screen time, and dampen the overall mood of the film. This was intended to be the final installment of the trilogy, to wrap the whole thing up. Even Michael Bay was done with this. Despite my disliking of this trilogy, there are more movies to follow because this thing brought in a boatload of cash. On a budget of $195 million, it brought in $1.1 billion. Huge numbers. But that wasn't domestic. It was due to an overseas audience. Can anyone tell me if the dub of this film got better dialogue, or is it just the cool CGI action? I don't know. Man, I feel like Hollywood did Transformers dirty. Strangely enough, this was my second time watching this film. The first time it came out, I immediately said it was horrible, and that was before I studied film seriously. This time around, I had more fun, if you can believe it. Okay, who's your favorite character, and who's the worst? You gotta tell me in the comments below. I love Shockwave, and getting Scooby-Doo to voice him is a silly notion, but at what point is it explained he's a scientist? I'm sure in the toys and the TV shows, but here in this film, I saw nothing but a scary robot guy. The worst is actually Sam. I'm glad it's his last outing. LaBouf's over-the-top acting, I'm trying to be a funny guy, just isn't working. And every character that meets him claims he's a special person, but I've yet to see an ounce of anything positive. Transformers: The Dark of the Moon is a very unique addition to this franchise, and because it did so well at the box office, of course they made another. Do you like this one? Or better, why don't you like this one? Hey guys, thanks for watching. Bye.